I live in Ignace, Ontario, which is about 2.5 hours west of Thunder Bay. I am a grade 5 to 8 language teacher at a K-12 school here in Ignace, and I also am about halfway through a Master's of Education in Leadership. I was at Pearce Williams as a staff member from 2006 to 2010, so for 5 summers, and I was there as a camper previously as a child. I thought a lot about this question, and I think I landed on the word spark. My experience at Pearce Williams, the friendships I had there, the things that I learned there, they set in motion a lot of things, a lot of characteristics in myself, a lot of hobbies that I have now, skills, things that I use in my work life now. So I would say spark because all of those positive things were set in motion as a result of my time at camp. Yeah, I think you probably should have had like a live recording of this with a live poll happening, and I think I'll have other folks answer for me here, which is it's Little Cabin in the Woods, of course. I grew up in St. Thomas and left when I finished high school at 17, and I went to Lakehead University for a couple of years of outdoor recreation, and then did a little bit of a pivot and ended up finishing at Lakehead with a Bachelor of Arts in Geography as well as a Bachelor of Education, and then followed my compass north to a very remote community in northern Quebec in the territory of Nunavik, and spent about 3 years teaching there, English as a second language. And then knew that I wanted to return to Ontario, and knew that kind of the Thunder Bay region and Northwestern Ontario had already stolen my heart, so I landed here in Ignace. That's a tricky question, right? To identify one moment. So I'm going to cheat a little bit on that one, and I'm going to say my first week as a staff member. I think that set in motion everything else that I was going to be as a staff member. My first week actually, probably accidentally, but I ended up at Wilderness, which is where I spent most of my time through those 5 summers at camp, and it ignited my love for camping and for leadership, in the wild a little bit, if we can call it that. But yeah, I would say just really rich friendships from that week, and when I think about that week was a bit of a pivotal moment probably in my life, not only in my years at camp. So yeah, that's another tricky question. I'll answer 2 things. Is that allowed? I'm gonna say for probably the most important thing is compassion. I learned to have compassion for other people in a way that I hadn't before, certainly for kids, definitely for other staff members, and compassion in leadership as well. I learned a lot of my leadership style now was kind of the seed was planted while I was at camp. So I'm going to say compassion and leadership. And in terms of what I use in like a day-to-day, not that I'm not compassionate on a day-to-day basis, but in terms of what I use like most consistently in my life, it would be starting fires in a safe campfire kind of situation. So yeah, this is a piece of advice that I'm working on this skill in my life, and I've probably been working on it since I was at camp. But it's to listen to people in order to understand them rather than listening to respond. I'm currently reading White Fragility in order to do some learning. Yeah, I would recommend that book so far. I need to do I need to dive into it maybe a little deeper, maybe do a second listen as well, but I certainly would recommend that to anybody at this point. I would have to say Kix and Scooby. I would love to hear their responses to these questions. people should donate and support Pearce Williams because it's transformational for those who have the opportunity to go there, and that opportunity shouldn't be limited. Nobody should be limited in their ability to attend Pearce Williams, to experience Pearce Williams, and to become part of the PW family.
Yeah!
Were those all the questions? You threw me a curveball, like not asking them in order, eh? Right?
Nice chat. So
good chat. No, yeah, I don't really have anything to add at that point.
Okay,
like you crafted some
Great.
nice questions. Do you want that to be what I added?